What if the woman you're into suddenly starts ignoring you without warning? Feels confusing, right? Almost like a silent punishment. But here's the truth. When a woman ignores you, it doesn't always mean she's done with you. Sometimes it's a test. Sometimes it's her way of protecting her emotions. Today, you're going to learn 7 powerful psychological tricks to use when a woman starts ignoring you so you stay in control, confident, and never come off as desperate. Before we dive in, if someone popped into your head just now, drop 888 in the comments. Let's see how many of us have faced the silent treatment. And stay with me, because after these 7 tricks, I'll share psychological facts about love and attraction that most people don't know but everyone should. All right, let's begin. These tricks are subtle but insanely effective. Trick number 1. Mirror her energy. If she's pulling back, don't chase match her pace. This shows her you respect yourself and won't beg for attention. It creates mystery, and mystery fuels attraction. Trick number 2. Level up silently. Instead of reacting emotionally, go silent and focus on your goals, your appearance, and your mindset. When she sees you thriving without her, curiosity turns into regret. Trick number 3. Use scarcity to your advantage. Stop being available 24/7. When people feel they're losing access to you, their brain triggers desire. Be missed. Be mysterious. Trick number 4. Avoid texting or asking, "What's wrong?" Constant check-ins feel needy. Instead, give space. Let her wonder why you're not chasing her like everyone else. That shift in power changes everything. Trick number 5. Spark emotional memory. Post a subtle throwback, or remind her of a moment only you two shared. Emotional memories are powerful. They can pull her attention back without a single word. Trick number 6. Practice controlled indifference. Act like her ignoring you doesn't affect your vibe. This isn't about being rude, it's about showing you're emotionally stable. Women are drawn to emotional maturity. Trick number 7. Re-engage, but on your terms. After giving her space, reach out casually, no guilt trip, no questions, just confidence. Show her you've moved forward, not waited around. Now that you've got the tricks, let's dive deeper. Because psychology doesn't lie, and these next psychological facts will help you understand what's really going on in her mind, and maybe even yours. Emotional control and calmness in a relationship are rated more attractive than physical appearance, according to multiple psychological studies. A woman ignoring you might not mean disinterest, it might signal emotional conflict, fear of intimacy, or unspoken feelings. Subtle emotional distance in a woman can be her way of protecting herself from getting hurt by someone she likes. People who focus on self-growth during romantic silence usually re-attract their partner faster than those who beg or chase. Someone ignoring you might actually be watching you more closely than ever, waiting to see how you respond emotionally. People admire those who can stay emotionally balanced when things become distant, confusing, or emotionally inconsistent in a relationship. Pulling away with dignity instead of panic triggers the fear of loss in the one who initially distanced themselves. When a woman sees you thriving without her attention, she may subconsciously question if she undervalued your emotional worth. The more emotionally secure you appear during silence, the more powerfully attractive you become to emotionally sensitive partners. A woman's emotional silence can be a signal for you to evaluate your own emotional reactions and self-respect. Quiet distance often triggers mental reflection in both people, sometimes revealing deeper feelings that words could never fully explain. When you set healthy boundaries and stop over-explaining yourself, people begin to see you as more emotionally mature. When you stop chasing and start improving yourself, the brain of the other person often reconsiders your emotional value. Dopamine, the brain's pleasure chemical, gets released more when attention is uncertain, creating a deeper obsession with unpredictable people. People who don't beg for attention are often perceived as stronger, more attractive, and more emotionally independent by others. When someone pulls away emotionally, our brains naturally want them more due to fear of emotional loss or disconnection. When you don't react to being ignored, it creates psychological contrast that makes your presence feel more powerful and attractive. Eye contact, when finally made again after silence, can spark emotional tension stronger than hours of meaningless texting ever could. Rebuilding self-confidence during periods of being ignored makes you more appealing and harder to forget in the long run. Emotional detachment from someone who's ignoring you gives you the power to reframe the situation in your favor. People naturally remember those who stayed calm and confident during conflict, distance, or emotional uncertainty. Emotional inconsistency creates intense psychological highs and lows, which can ironically deepen attachment instead of breaking it. Someone who's ignoring you might still care deeply, they just don't know how to communicate what they're really feeling inside. When you stop reaching out first, the other person often starts questioning if they were ever that important to you. People tend to be more attracted to those who don't seek constant validation but remain emotionally steady and self-assured. Ignoring someone you once gave attention to creates a mental gap that increases longing and emotional tension over time. A woman may ignore someone she likes as a way to protect her heart from potential rejection or vulnerability. Emotional detachment can trigger obsessive thoughts in the other person, especially if the bond once felt emotionally intense or special. Mirroring a woman's energy when she pulls away shows high value and confidence, which most people find highly attractive. Psychological studies show that silence can make a person reflect more on their feelings than constant conversation ever could. Scarcity increases desire. People are more likely to chase someone who doesn't make themselves constantly available or emotionally exposed. Psychological studies show people are more likely to regret ignoring someone who handles the situation with grace and patience. Emotional attraction grows stronger when you become unpredictable yet grounded in how you show up during confusing relationship moments. Many people confuse being ignored with rejection, but in reality, it's often a sign of emotional overwhelm, not disinterest. The less you chase, the more someone wonders why you're not reacting, which can create emotional reevaluation and longing. Being ignored hurts more when we tie our self-worth to someone else's attention. True power comes from emotional independence. Sometimes the best psychological move when being ignored is to walk away gracefully and let your silence speak everything she won't. So, did someone specific come to mind during this video? If yes, then you already know what to do. Subscribe and drop a yes in the comments if you've ever been ignored by someone you cared about. Want to go deeper into the mind? Check out this next video on psychology facts that everyone should know. Trust me, it'll change the way you see people forever. You're not needy. You're just learning how to respond with power. See you in the next one. God bless you. Amen.